Hello, this is Shiley from Sheepishly Made. Today we're going to do part 2 of our flower making. I'm going to show you how to needle felt this pansy today. If you have the kit, you will get the colors you need to do this project. Get the purples, greens, yellow, white, and black. If you would like to see how to attach it to the stick for hanging, you can go back to part 1 where I show you how to needle felt a daisy. At the end of the video, I attach the stick to the background piece so then you can hang it. So today I'll be using a small piece of pre-felt. This foam mat is about 6 by 6. So this pre-felt piece is about a 4 by 6 piece. I have a coarse felting needle and a fine felting needle. I use the fine felting needle for a lot of the work in this project. It's very good for all the details. And we're going to start with the bottom petal. So the bottom petal is almost an upside down heart shape. We're going to use the lighter purple to define the edges at first. So just take a little piece. And you want to be in about the center. You want to be in the center, going this way. And then a little higher up, about 3/4 up. Maybe a little lower. And we're just going to very lightly fill in this piece. You want to go like an upside down flower, but the bottom's a little wider. So you want to go more out first and then down and around. Just felt lightly. So if you need to change something or you make a mistake, you can easily pull this wool off and correct your mistake. Now that we have the shape defined, we will start filling in the middle. We're going to work from the bottom up. So I'm going to add a little bit more of this lighter purple to the outside. Not a lot really shows through in the final petal. I want to make sure you have a good base so you can see on the outside. You will kind of layer the colors on top of each other a little bit as you go along and make this flower. And I'm going to use my fine needle because the coarse needle pushes it a little bit too far in. Just lightly felt this in. Now we're going to add some of the darker purple. We'll add it right next to, a little bit on top of that lighter purple. So just leave a little bit of the lighter purple around the outside. I'm going to blend a little bit of this with the lighter purple, so it's kind of a medium. And we can use the darker purple for darker spots. If you need to watch the blending technique in more detail, go back to the first video on when we needle felt a daisy. When you blend colors, you put two pieces on top of each other, grab it by the ends, and then pull it apart, lay it back on top, and pull it apart. And do that over and over again till the colors are blended. That's an easy and quick way to do little pieces when you're working on small projects. And continue to add this color around the edges. I want it to be darker than that very light purple, but really not the super dark purple quite yet. Okay, now we're going to add some white. Take a little bit of your white, and we're going to do the same thing, just add another layer. But this time you want to go all the way down to the middle and kind of make an outline all the way around. And with any project like this, most of the time you're never going to make two of these exactly the same. They're going to be a little different. Now I am going to add this very dark purple that can look, it's not black, but it's a very dark purple. So what I'm going to do is blend a little bit of black with this dark purple color you have. So it makes a nice deep dark purple. And then that'll really stand out against these other colors. And this will be added inside the white. Make sure you pick it up so you're not felting too hard in the mat to test it out. So if it's really hard to pull off your mat while you're felting, that means you're pushing your needle too far in, and you need to felt a little bit lighter. Okay, now I'm going to make these little kind of spines that are coming out. So this is where you really want to use your fine needle and take it slow. So you just want to use little wisps of your color, a little bit at a time. And just lightly felt them in, not too deep. Oh, actually first we need to add a little bit of yellow next to this light or the dark purple on top of the white. So add just a little wispy bit of yellow so you can kind of still see the white through it. All right. Now, go back just a little wispy piece and lightly felt that in. Okay, now we're going to add the yellow at the very top. So I'm going to start by adding the yellow at the very point. And we'll make a triangle with that at the point. Just take a little bit at a time. Now we're going to do where there's like little spines, this little spine yellow coming into the dark purple. So kind of like we did up here, and take small pieces Make sure to leave some notable purple in between them. You're just going to take a very little bit at a time. So that's the main part of this petal. Now I'm going to add the next two on the sides, and we'll start off again by outlining the outside. And we'll start just off the point of this petal. This one should be smaller. And do that on both sides. And we're going to add a little bit more of the light purple to the edges. And then I'm going to take the blend of the darker purple and the lighter purple to make a medium purple. and add a little bit of that to the on the inside here. Just a little bit. And then we're going to add white. And we'll add the white to the middle, not all the way to the outside quite. And then I'm going to add some little points of the white. As you can see in this one, it kind of has some points that go in. Just like that. And then we want that dark purple blend again. So I'm going to take a little bit of the dark purple, a little bit of black, and blend it. And this time, this is going to go in the middle instead of the yellow. Then we'll make the little spines again that come out. And you can make them go into the points there. We're going to add the last two petals. So like before, we'll outline with this light purple. These ones are a little bit taller. Then we're going to fill in a little bit with this light purple. Now along this edge here on the left petal, next to this petal, I want to put the dark purple so it looks like it's below. I'm going to put that all the way down. and put it in here. So that'll create a shadow. But this is the very back petal. And I'm going to add just the dark purple color that you already have, not the one blended with the black. And add that next. So we'll gradually lighten up and do lighter colors towards the outside. And now I'm going to do a blend of the light purple and your dark purple. And add that next in here. All right. And now I'm going to do the same thing we did here, but on this edge of this, the right petal. So to make sure that this petal looks like it's behind this one. I'm going to add a little bit of this darker purple. So the next shade lighter. And then this is the lightest purple. Just taking a tiny bit of the dark purple and laying it on top. But it's just a little bit that I can still see through to the lightest purple below. So it gives that nice shade from the darkest purple here all the way up to the light purple. And the same thing on this side. But I'm going to add a little bit more of the light purple up here on the left petal. And then going down in the center just a bit. Okay, so the very last part of the flower part is to add the highlights. So you can see that it's outlined a little bit or highlighted in certain areas. So for the largest petal, I'm going to take a little bit of the white, just a little bit, and we're going to add it to the very, very edge of this, all the way around. I'm going to do it along this edge and the other edge. And then I'm going to blend a little bit of the white with the light purple. I'm going to add that to this edge. And then we can also add this lightest light purple to the edges of these other petals. And then maybe just add a splash of a highlight right here. And then we'll highlight the top of this petal. Like that. I can add a little bit more of this darker purple on these two small petals to add a little bit more depth. They're just a little bit too light and they don't really pop out like the other petal does. So I just add a little bit of dark purple in there. And then I'm going to add a little over here. Just like that. And now you finish the flower part. So now we're going to add the stem and the leaves. So for the stem, you just want to take a little bit of the dark green and start it kind of wherever you want. It doesn't really matter. And just tack it in and then lightly felt it down. Remember that nature doesn't have a lot of very straight lines, so I always give it a little bit of curve. And then to add leaves, you can add as many as you want or as few as you want. Leaves are easy, they're just pointed ovals for the most part. After you have the base of your leaves done, as many as you want, then I'm going to add the vein. So I'm just going to use a little bit of black to make the vein in the leaf. And I'm just going to very, very little bit and just make one down the middle. Very lightly. And then I can take a little bit of the dark green and blend it with the black to make a darker green. And then I'll put the darker green at the base of the stem. And a little bit of darker green where it's going to go underneath the flower. And then add a little bit of lighter green onto the one side. Just lightly over top of the other green, just a little bit. And I'm going to take a little bit of the dark green that I blended with the black and just add a little on the edge. And then a little bit of the lighter green. I'm going to add a little bit just on top. Now I'll blend some of the light green with the dark green. Alright, and that's your basic pansy. If you want, you can always go back and add more veining to the leaves. And if you'd like to add the hanger to it, you can go back to the first video where we needle felt a daisy. And at the very end, it shows you how to attach that hanger. It's just thread wrapped around the stick a little bit and tied through to the background piece. So then you can hang it. If you have any questions, you can leave me a comment or message me on Facebook or Instagram. Thank you for watching.